Alright, so the new Eye boss pals. This is the new boss from the Sealed Realm of Terraria. It has decent base stats. The attack is 105 and then it's lacking a little bit in bulk. So I'd say this is probably around like Maraith, the Ragnarok-ish kind of levels. I think Hellbat is somewhere similar around here. It's kind of difficult because I haven't really been able to get all these new Terraria pals out, the stats out of the game yet. But it is running its two exclusive skills, and then I gave it Flame Funnel, and we're doing the classic hard mode Bjorn Bastigor test, just to kind of see the power level. So it's compared to the previous Bjorn Bastigor tests. I'm not sure if I'm gonna redo this series to compare pals, because I'm just very tired of fighting Bjorn Bastigor, but I thought it would be interesting just to kind of see this pal. We have 5 new levels. I'm running 2 whistles instead of I think I removed the defense pendant and maybe like the ice resistance ring. And I figured I would just kind of see how the pal performs, even if it has 5 more levels and a couple more buffs. Some other things I could have added are like these boost guns and the grenades and stuff like that. But I felt this way I would get a semi-fair comparison to my previous videos. So I have done a lot of DPS tests with different pals against Armo Bjorn and Bastigor. So we'll just get a general idea kind of how this stacks up versus some of the old pals at level 60 without the whistles, I guess. Not running any sort of, or it's not it is the whistle, but it's just the attack and defense. No like dark bonus whistle or anything. So the 2 exclusive skills, we have seen them a little bit go now. It's the one where it's going under the floor and up in the air, the one it's doing right now. That one is tied kinda to the partner skill. Nice supply drop there. It's kinda tied to the partner skill, but generally you don't want to use partner skills against hard mode Bjorn and Bastigor. You notice I'm not using it at all, because it draws aggro, and if Bjorn just looks at your pal during this fight, he usually just one-shots it. So one issue immediately with the one attack where it's flying back and forth like that. The issues with that is it's flying into a lot of projectiles. So when Bjorn is charging up an Aqua Burst, a Nightmare Ball, when he's using Dark Wisp, all these sort of attacks, the Eye will just kind of fly through all of them and tank them, taking quite a lot of damage. The second issue is that it's a super long animation time. So if you're running 3 attacks and it's running one of the attacks is this flying back and forth attack, it's just not gonna use the third one most of the time. It's gonna do the flying back and forth, then the second attack, and then start flying back and forth. So I'm not really sure. Have we seen the summon attack it's using now as much as we should have? Probably not. So it might be best to just remove that skill. And then the partner skill, what I said, it's kind of tied to this, unlike Libro and Incineram and those kind of past Bushi. You'll kind of notice when you're using the partner skill that it deals a lot more damage with the partner skill than the base attack, unlike those pals, because they've given it like an extra attack only for the partner skill. So unfortunately, the basic attack here, flying back and forth, is not dealing 2.5 times more damage, which Libro and those pals kind of keep that bonus. And then you have to withdraw like that, it flies into the glacial impact. So overall, just some tricky stuff there that I'm not sure why they gave it this like worse version of its own attack, because the flying into Stone Beat, just because the animation of it is so long, and for some reason it doesn't get to keep that 2.5 bonus damage. I would not really recommend running that attack. Probably just remove it and run 3 other skills where the animation time is very short, so it actually gets to use the Eye spam attack, which I'm not really sure how much damage it is, but it does look to be a little bit better. It's pretty quick animation time. It deals decent damage, I would say. Very short cooldown, so the passives on this one, I haven't figured a breeding path yet to get Legend on it. Not sure if it exists. I do have Serenity on it, but Serenity is probably not needed if you're using that spamming the little Eye attacks. I'm not going to use the proper names now because nobody really knows them yet, so. But we have the 2 exclusive skills to this pal. The shooting small little eyes and the flying back and forth. And those are the only skills it learns naturally. You have to give it some skill fruit. So for this fight I gave it Flame Funnel. And one thing I'm not sure if you've noticed yet is that when it pops Flame Funnel and flies underground, or like through the pillars, maybe we can see it here, the Flame Funnels kind of stop coming through. It seems like it's not a great combo, so probably not the best skill build. The fight itself, I mean, I was pretty rusty. Not the best fight, but I think you can see that the timing is nowhere near these other top tier pals that I've been testing. Just overall, no, I mean, it's hard to really compare to stuff like, you know, Noclem and Splatterina builds and stuff like that. And here I used the partner skill just to show it does deal 2.5 times more damage when it's flying back and forth, but Bjorn immediately targets the pal. And I actually ran out of ammo towards the end here because the fight just took long. Usually I have a pretty good approximate how many missiles I need for hard move Bjorn, but I just didn't really do the kind of damage I was expecting it to do maybe. And that's probably mainly due to this flying back and forth thing. So I tried it. I figured we got some level advantage now. Let's try it if it can solo normal Bjorn Bastigor just to see. But unfortunately, normal Bjorn Bastigor, they run the Rock Burst build, and they have the Stone Beat, and they have like a lot of these kind of skills. So even with the 5 level bonus, the eye kind of struggles. It keeps doing this thing where it stops its attack like on top of them, and then it gets melee Rock Bursted down, pretty much a one shot. So we reduced the level a little bit to test out solo potential. Again, could have used the boost gun, but I feel like I'm gonna save that for a little bit of separate testing, since I kind of want to get a general feel for this pal compared to, like, I recently did a lot of tests against Sai with my Dragon pals as well, just kind of get a general idea. And you'll see there, he kind of hovers a lot in her face, which isn't great when you're against Airblade. So for this fight, I'm running this little eye spam attack and Beam Slicer and Blast Cannon, just because they're very good. And you see Airblade hurts a bit, just so we could actually see this little eyes attack. I don't really think the damage numbers are there. It's dealing like maybe, it's looking like up to 5,000 maybe, if we're being kind. And that's pretty much what one little Beam Slicer explosion does. And then the cooldowns on party pals are just so short that doesn't really matter. And then something about this ice spam attack seems a little bit weird. I'm not sure if the pal just doesn't have a stagger animation or something, but I feel like it keeps cancelling its own attack. Beam Slicer there, missing Saya, happens pretty often. It's why I recommend Blast Cannon if you can only pick one of them. When she jumps backwards, Blast Cannon actually hits. When she jumps backwards, Beam Slicer misses. Another melee ranged Airblade. So hopefully it can heal up a little bit with Vampiric here. Blast Cannon, Beam Slicer, you can see they're dealing, like, what is it, 20,000 damage each or something. And then we have these little eyes. I think I was being kind before. It's probably closer to like 3,000. So I'm not doing any official DPS tests just yet. People have been asking a little bit for them with the new skills and stuff like that. But since the patch notes were pretty vague on what was changed with the attacks, a lot of the DPS tests, like, it's hard for me to say that this is how good the skill is compared to the old skills, because I need to retest the old skills first. So we can get a general idea as we do these fights, like kind of what it's looking like. Beam Slicer and Blast Cannon are pretty good baseline for strong skills. So these, I'd say the exclusive skills were a bit, it is what it is. Also no trust bonus on this pal. I just maxed it. We'll see how strong it gets with trust. We got the whistle, so the passive skills are stacking up pretty high in attack. No legend does hurt. Maybe could have ran like Diamond Body or something, but I am a big fan of an all-out offensive build. We got the defense and attack whistles here. The Ring of Dark Resistance, so that was mainly against the Bjorn fight, this build. So we got the lock on lunge, is the one where it flies back and forth. I would say remove that skill, just because of the animation time, at least when using it as a party pal. And then Servant Call, like if you really want it to get used, you're gonna need to run these probably a little bit longer cooldown skills, since it's only 10 CT, and then you add Party Pal to that, it's 6, and then you add Serenity to that. So overall, a fun pal to use, but not up there with some of those top tier pals, which, like, that's a hard thing to be, because they are top tier. So I have Cthulhu, pretty fun pal. Thanks for watching.